Greetings, y'all. Welcome to another video. Today we are gonna look at another batch of Goodwill pickups that I've gotten over the last couple of weeks. I've been actually been having some pretty good luck lately at the Goodwill. There was a period there for a while where, I was going in them and really wasn't finding anything, but just the last few weeks, I've found some really cool stuff. So let us see what I got. From 1992, we've got ZZ Top and their greatest hits. Nice collection of the best of ZZ Top up until that point, certainly. Kind of like a streamlined version of their greatest hits, not too in-depth. Now, what's interesting about this pickup, as you see the nice liner notes inside the booklet, which will come into play in our story in a moment. Maybe last year, might even been 2 years ago, not too long ago, I picked up a greatest hits collection from ZZ Top called Goin' 50. And this seemed to have like everything you would want for a casual, very, very casual ZZ Top fan like myself. So you're probably wondering, well, why did you pick up this greatest hits collection? Well, when I saw it there, for some reason, I thought this maybe had a better track listing. So I grabbed it. And I also, as you saw, I knew it had some good liner notes, whereas this copy doesn't have any liner notes in it whatsoever. But to my dismay, when I got home, I compared the track listings to the two CDs here, and they're pretty similar. There's maybe 3 or 4 songs that are a little different. This one came out in the 2000s, so it's got some later ZZ Top on it, which this one doesn't have. But I decided between the two that I would keep this version instead of this one, because all the tracks on here that I would want are on Goin' 50. But this is a nice collection of greatest hits, got all the ones on here that you'd want. Give Me All Your Lovin', Sharp Dressed Man, Cheap Sunglasses, LaGrange, Legs, all the greatest hits of ZZ Top. But the silver lining to this is all the CDs at the Goodwills by me are 99 cents. So I'm not out that much. But guess what, y'all? This is going right back to the Goodwill. 1994, we get REM and their album Monster. Now, I'm sure a lot of you are looking at me funny and going like, hey, in the intro, you said you've been having some good luck at Goodwill. I wouldn't constitute REM's Monster as good luck. And you are correct. As we all know, this album was sort of like the joke when it came to thrifting and Goodwill and used shops. You would always find a copy of REM's Monster in those shops without fail, no question. So you might be wondering, well, why on earth did you have REM Monster here? What is so special about this? Nothing really. It's just that recently I was listening to all of my REM CDs, and when I got to Monster, I realized that my copy was no good. The CD had a crack in the center of it, which made it unplayable on my CD player. I think I put it in the computer too, and it didn't work there. But so I was just like, all right, I got to be on the lookout for a new copy of Monster. And that wasn't very difficult, as you know. I popped into Goodwill within a week or two, and there was a nice copy of Monster. Picked it up for 99 cents, brought it home, played fine. This album is kind of like REM's. It was kind of promoted as REM's return to rock, if you will. And this album and after is kind of where I started losing interest in REM, not paying too much attention to them. But having not listened to this album in years, when I put it in recently and listened to it, I really enjoyed it. I forgot how good this record is, I really just thought the songs were it's just an awesome batch of songs. Like I said, I feel like this album's been kind of maligned over the years, or maybe it's been kind of like, you know, lowered on the scale of REM albums. But yeah, I don't know why, because it is a really, really good album. Tracks on here that I dig are What's the Frequency, Kenneth, Crush with Eyeliner, King of Comedy, Star 69, Strange Currencies, Bang and Blame, and I Took Your Name. Star 69 is interesting because out of all of these, that one sounded a lot like it could have been on like an earlier REM album. It sounds like it could have fit in very easily in one of their earlier albums. I Took Your Name's interesting because one of my favorite bands is Dramarama, and this song reminds me a lot of a Dramarama song that came out around the same time. I'm not trying to suggest anything that REM perhaps lifted from Dramarama. I assure you that's not the case, but it just was odd to me, like how similar it sort of sounded to this Dramarama song. But yeah, I'm really thrilled to have been able to replace my bad copy of Monster. It really wasn't that difficult, and it was only 99 cents. 1982, we get Joe Jackson and his album Night and Day. We can file this under the category of what are the chances? What are the chances? So, we all know our good buddy Brian up there in Toronto, correct? You all know him best as the Embryonic Robot. So he recently did a video and he showed his copy of this on vinyl, and was, you know, saying some pretty positive things about it. I have Joe Jackson's first two records, and they're really great. I love both of those albums. They're very like kind of a little bit of a punk sound to them, new wave, but just really awesome records. And when he showed this and he was talking about it, I was like, I'm not familiar with this album at all, other than Stepping Out, like everybody. And so I mentioned to him, you know, like, oh, you know, you're saying some really good things about this album. You know, I maybe need to kind of keep my eye out for it. If I see it and get for a good price, maybe I'll pick it up. And he, you know, thought that would be a good idea. So literally within a week, I go to Goodwill, making my rounds, go to the first one, and there it is on CD, 99 cents, sitting there. Like, what are the chances? You know, we were just talking about it a few days ago, and there it is. So I grabbed it, 99 cents. Jump in the car, go to the second Goodwill that I always hit up on my rounds, and digging through the vinyl bin that they have there. And what do I find? Night and Day on vinyl. I mean, what are the chances? You know? But just how bizarre is that? I mean, you know, like, it's just so weird. Like, I had to like take a picture of this stuff and send it to Brian. Like, dude, can you believe this? So I picked up the CD already, so I didn't really feel the need to pick up the vinyl because I don't know this album at all or anything like that. So, and I haven't listened to this yet. I've yet to listen to it. Like I mentioned, the big hit from the early 80s is on here, Stepping Out, that everybody's familiar with. One other tune that I'm a little bit familiar with is Breaking Us in Two. I do kind of remember that song. It might have been the second single. But nothing else on here I'm familiar with or have heard. So I'm looking forward to listening to this album. And Brian, it better be good or else I'll be expecting a check for 99 cents in the mail. Do I have your guarantee? Anyways, so awesome stuff from the Goodwill. Now, I guess when I say I've been lucky lately with stuff at Goodwill, this stuff certainly falls into that category. Really surprised to find these at Goodwill from 1969, the Rolling Stones, Through the Past Darkly, Big Hits Volume 2. Yeah, I just was really surprised to see this. I mean, I go to this Goodwill, I'm digging through their bins, and I got there, it was like early Monday morning, they maybe had just opened, and I don't know if that's like the time to hit up the Goodwill or what, but there was obviously this stack of vinyl that they had just put out, and so nobody had dug through this yet, and this was in there amongst a bunch of other stuff that was pretty good, stuff that I wasn't that interested in, but pretty good selections. That Joe Jackson vinyl was part of that. But yeah, just really surprised to find this. This is on London Records. It's the US pressing. I don't know if this is an original one or not. It's in pretty good shape. I mean, you know, there's a bit of wear on it. You know, it's in this weirdo octagon kind of cut. You know, they used to do this a lot. I don't think they do this anymore, unless it's like a special reissue or a record store day kind of thing where they want to emulate the original release. But, you know, pretty cool record. I'm not a big Rolling Stones fan, to the dismay of my good buddy Alan Rosenberg. That's his favorite band. He is Mr. Rolling Stones, and he has been trying for a while now to convince me to, you know, dive deeper into their catalog. I did a video a while ago about like bands that I own a greatest hits by and I don't need anything else by them, and Rolling Stones was part of that. Maybe controversial, but what I had was 40 Licks for the longest time. I've had this, and it's a great compilation. It's got pretty much everything I would want on here as far as the Rolling Stones go. In one of these same Goodwills a few years ago, I found this, and again, for 99 cents, it was too hard to pass up, and so I picked it up. That's the Hot Rocks collection, I guess the first one. But I don't really have any need for this. I've been wondering what to do with this for so long, because everything that's on here pretty much is on here, so I don't need both of them. But yeah, I mean, this was just too good of a deal. I mean, the vinyl at this Goodwill is like, I don't know, is like $1.50 or something like that. So to get this for like $1.50, I couldn't pass it up. And it's a, you know, a really good collection of their early greatest hits: Paint It Black, Ruby Tuesday, Jumpin' Jack Flash, Let's Spend the Night Together, Honky Tonk Woman, Street Fighting Man. I believe that this was released, if you could see up here, there's sort of like a little dedication to Brian Jones. So I think management or label or whoever thought it would be a good idea to put something out sort of, you know, since he had just passed away, kind of commemorating his career or history. So this is what they released. But like I said, it's a good collection. It's nice to have on vinyl. You know, there's the vinyl for you. Brought this home, cleaned it up. Plays great, sounds great. Like I said, just not something you expect to find at Goodwill, you know, especially for that price, $1.50 or whatever. I'm sure like record store, or, you know, if they had this used, it'd be, you know, $15 or $20. They'd probably be asking for it. So really happy with this. And I'm not about to start diving in and picking up all kinds of Rolling Stones albums. Or am I? 1973, Rolling Stones, Goat's Head Soup. Again, same day, same bin, same moment, same shock and surprise on my face to see this there. And this is really a really nice copy. I mean, it's a little bit of wear again on the cover. It's not a reissue. I don't know when this version was released, but I don't think it's, you know, it seems to be like a early copy of it. Even surprisingly had the inner sleeve, all the guest stars on there. And it even had this little insert, which I think this maybe was what they wanted the original album to be. And the label was like, so they included it as an insert. But like I said, I mean, you know, this thing, how old is it? And it's here in this Goodwill and it's still in good condition like this. I mean, it surprises me a little bit that somebody would just donate this to the Goodwill and not try to bring it to like a record store. I mean, I don't know what they'd get from a record store from this, like $2 or whatever. Obviously a record store would put this out for more, but yeah, just surprised to find this there. Again, couldn't help but bring it home with me. I couldn't pass up the chance to take that home. And again, cleaned it, put it on, sounds great. And it's a pretty good record. I think Alan told me, this might be Alan's favorite Rolling Stone album. I'm not sure, but I know he likes this quite a bit. And it's good. I like it. Tracks on here I dig are Dancing with Mr. D, 100 Years Ago, Do 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 Do, Heartbreaker, Silver Train, and Star Star, which was supposed to have a more R-rated title, if you will. I'm sure if you're familiar with that song, you know what I'm talking about. Heartbreaker is my favorite Rolling Stone song by far. I love that song. And it's shocking to me when I bought this that Heartbreaker is not on here. I mean, how do you leave that off a career, CD retrospective? You put these 4 new songs on here that are kind of not very good, and you could easily took one of them off and put Heartbreaker on, or maybe even a couple other ones, but shocking that wasn't on there. But yeah, I love that song. It's my favorite Rolling Stone song. But again, I don't know that as much as I enjoyed these, I don't know that I'm going to run out and buy a bunch of Rolling Stones albums. If I find them for 99 cents like that, or $1.50, I mean, maybe, I don't know. But really cool. Really happy with this pickup from Goodwill. Let me know what you think of these records, and I'm off to the dentist, so wish me luck, y'all. Fun. All right, y'all, thanks for tuning in. See you next time.